Today I'm here to talk to you about the posterior muscle chain. Your posterior muscle chain is your low back, your glutes, your hamstrings, the back of your body that all connects from the ankle up to your shoulders. There's a lot of muscles there that we tend to ignore because we don't generally see them in the mirror. And especially right now with us spending a lot of time sitting on couches, on chairs, on Zoom, on laptops, all that stuff, we're starting to, and I know I for sure feel softer, a little tighter, so I want to build some strength in that part of the body. So we're going to start off with some standing balancing exercises. So you're warmed up, you're here with your feet about hip width distance apart and paying attention to that pelvic tilt of yours. You want to have your tailbone reaching down and not forward and not arched back. So you're kind of nice and neutral, that Goldilocks median. From here, keep the low belly pulled in. We're gonna shift weight over to the left foot here. From here, just picking up the right foot and flexing the ankle and toes. When you're flexing, you're pulling them up towards you so that leg is nice and active. From here, hands on the waist and begin to tip your weight forward. Again, that grounding leg can be straight. You don't have to lock out the knee at any point. You can have a bit of a bend or an exaggerated bend, your choice, but don't lock the knee out. So you wanna have the muscles around the joint nice and active. From here, just tip your weight forward, and as you tip your torso forward, you want that back leg to just naturally lift up away from the ground. And what you're doing here is you're training your body to utilize the grounding leg, but also to find that strength to lift the leg from your hip, from your low back, the glutes. It's these muscles that are working to lift that leg. You want to lift that leg as close to parallel as you can, and same thing with the torso. If you want to grab your, if you have blocks at home, if you want to reach your fingers down, because this is not so much about the torso, it's more about that back leg. So you can find support for the torso if you need to. You can use dumbbells as well. And what you can do is you can breathe right here, you can hold that, and what I want you to feel is that strength of lifting the leg from the hip. So you're not trying to pick up the heel. You're not trying to pick up the heel. All you're doing is lifting the leg right from here, from your glutes, and keeping it lifted. And then when you're ready to come out of that pose, come back, shake it out. So for this, you'll feel it in your grounding leg, but you'll also feel it in the leg that's lifting. And let's set up for that on the other side. Again, feet are hip width distance. Shifting weight onto the right foot, picking up the left foot. Core is active, tailbone neutral, and then that lean forward. Find the position for the grounding leg. Keep that back leg activated. If you're flexing the ankle and so, you want to think about reaching the heel away from the body. So you're forming a straight line from your low back, glutes, hamstrings, that connects all the way to that heel and extends past. Again, as I mentioned, for the upper body, you can keep your spine long, but you don't have to hold it up the entire time. You can have some support if you want, but that back leg is really what we're focusing on here. The other thing I want to mention as well is try not to let your hip open out to the side like that. You want to have the hip stay closed and the back toes pointing down. Make sure you're still breathing and then coming back up. Shake it out. All right, so that's a little bit of building that posterior chain while we're standing. We're going to move to the floor and then continue to do that. Toes are together, the knees are mat width distance, and you can scooch on back a little bit further here and letting your seat come down. Just a bit of a stretch, and what we're going to do from here is add in some movement. So lifting from here, and then as you come forward, lifting your feet off and adding a bit of a back bend. Now from here, you can keep your knees down. If you want to go a little bit further, want to add some more strength, the option to have your chest off is there. You can keep your chest closer to the ground, but we're gonna try to lift our legs off. And what you're doing here is you're utilizing these muscles, the outer part of your glutes, to lift the low back. The glutes are all working together here to pick the knees away from the floor and then putting them back down. If you want to, work on a bit of chest opening as well, adding a back bend, you can do that. Or keep your chin relaxed and just lift from here. And you can do as many as you can till failure. If you can do 5, if you can do 10, 15, 20, whatever works. And you want to make sure that when you lift your legs up here, you really squeeze the glutes. You really feel those muscles working on both sides. And then when you release with control. And then once you've had enough, take a bit of a break. Lifting from here, back into child's pose. And now what you're doing here is you're stretching these muscles out. We're contracting, and then right away, we're stretching those muscles out as well. A nice deep belly breath. Relaxing your forehead, your shoulders, but most importantly, letting your glutes, lower back, relax and stretch. And you can go in for one more round. I recommend doing up to 3 rounds of this. It's a great way to build that strength. And as you get more used to this, what you can also do is you can have your legs straight and then lift them like that. So if you want to go for a bit more advanced variation, you can lift from here, and you can also have your hips open a little bit more so your toes are pointing out, and then you lift from here. So having your legs straighter makes them a bit heavier, and it just engages the muscles that much more when you're lifting from here. So you can have your knees bent like we had earlier and lift like that. You can have your legs straight. If you really want to amp it up, you can add in some more upper body stuff. Reach out the arms in front of you and try to lift everything off at the same time. So boom, boom. And this is pretty much working your entire posterior chain. So from the low back all the way up to your shoulders and then down the legs, everything is working. As you lift against gravity, your body's strength is really working to make that happen. Whew, starting to feel that. Again, do as many as you can till failure. Once you feel like you've had enough, come into child's pose. Slowing down the breath, stretching out the muscles that we were just flexing and contracting. All right. To continue on with that, coming into a tabletop position, let's have the toes curled under, shoulders over your wrists, hips over the knees, picking up the back leg and then reaching it back. As you reach that leg back, flexing the ankle and toes in. This is similar to the balancing pose that we did at the beginning of class, a bit more supported, and you can really just focus on that back leg and lift it from the hip. Find that long line that extends past the heel. And if you want to make things more interesting, you can reach that leg out to the side, where you'll find different parts of your glute muscles activating. So from here, keeping that leg active, see how far you can move that leg and notice how that changes. And then once you've done that a few times, you'll start to feel your glutes really working, and then work them out by stretching them. Let's do it on the other side as well. Into your tabletop, picking up that left leg and then reaching with the heel. As you push from the heel, Pull the toes towards you. Keeping your hands nice and steady, keeping the core active, that back leg lifting as it connects. Notice what you want to always try to do is eliminate energy leaks. So when the knee's a little soft, when the ankles are soft, now there's energy leaks. So lifting here, my leg is not quite as active. But if I eliminate that energy leak by straightening out the leg, pushing from the heel, now you can see the leg works much more efficiently. And again, take it out to the different sides. And then stretch it out, find some movement, and come back. All right, the next exercise from here is you're gonna sit on your seat. Taking your left shin, bring it to be parallel to the front of your mat, taking the right knee, and then press the knee against the bottom of the foot. So you're kind of sitting like this, and what we're gonna try and do is use your front leg, your left leg in this case, as your grounding leg. And you're gonna fire the muscles in this part of your body, your glutes right here, to lift us up from here to have our shoulders, hips, and knees stacking in a straight line. So on the exhale, when you're ready, you can have support for your hands here if you want to, or have your hands off on the exhale, lifting. And then here's where it gets fun. On the way down, you're breathing in, but really taking your time. And you'll notice as you get closer to the ground, gravity wants to take over and pull you down, but don't let that happen. Try to maintain control over your descent as long as you can. On the exhale, lifting, and then inhale. And this is one of those exercises that looks a little funny. If you're doing this in the gym, people might ask you what you're up to, but I can promise you, if you do this, you'll be sore. We'll do 5 of these. If you can't do 5 today, that's perfectly fine. If 5 is too little, you can do some more if you want to, totally fine. And remember, you can always modify these exercises as needed. If you want to add anything else, please do that. Also, leave a comment below. Let me know what you like to do to strengthen out your glutes. So now that we've strengthened and contracted this muscle, we also want to stretch it so it doesn't tighten up and seize up on us. What we're going to do from here is that back leg, you're going to swing it out and then stack the right shin on top of the left shin. So this might be uncomfortable if you're not used to that. Sit cross-legged instead and you'll get the same stretch by walking your hands forward. But if you're comfortable here, keeping that left shin parallel to the top edge, that right foot stacks on the left knee, the right knee stacks on top of the left foot, and then from here, nice deep stretch for your glutes. You can use your fingers to crawl your way forward to keep that spine nice and lengthening. As you stretch, breathe. You can close the eyes, you can relax the shoulders, maybe even rest your face on your palms, whatever works. And this is known as fire log pose or double pigeon. But most importantly, it's a great way to stretch out the glutes and stretch out the side of your thighs. Because anytime we're strengthening a muscle, we also want to make sure that we're stretching it. So doing this for a few breaths and then coming out. Lean back, taking your feet about mat width distance and windshield wiper side to side. Nice and easy. Try to lightly tap the knee on either end of the rotation. And as you come back, this time setting up for the same pose on the other side. So now your right shin is parallel to the top edge of the mat. That left knee is pushing against the bottom of the foot. So you're setting up like this. This time your right foot or your right leg is the grounding leg. So from here, on the exhale, pushing down into that grounding leg and then lifting and then releasing back down. I can already feel this with all the other stuff that we've done already. That posterior muscle chain has been working. All right, last time for my count. On the exhale, lift. Inhale, slowly releasing your weight down. From here, Swing that back leg to the front, stacked pigeon or cross-legged, whatever works. And you might find the beginning of that top leg actually stays off the foot a little bit, and that's okay. If you want, you can just let that arm rest on the leg. You can hang out like this. As you get more comfortable here, your muscles start to stretch. You might find that you can wiggle your way forward, going a little bit deeper. Things off. I do like malasana. If you've watched my daily foundations video, you'll see that I talk about this pose in a bit more detail. But malasana is a great way to not only stretch out the inner thighs, but also to get your body used to having your weight be on the feet and your pelvis to be carrying the weight of your torso as well. So here, I'm keeping my chest nice and upright, my core is active, so my torso is being held up by the midsection, but also by the pelvis. And you want to add some strength here. What you can do is you can lift your pelvis from here, bring it to the height of the knees, and then slowly relax back down. If you've ever seen J-Lo do this, she's amazing. I was blown away. I saw her do this live. She's incredibly strong. So that really inspired me to get my posterior chain working. So you can do this nice and easy. Lift on the exhale, release on the inhale. And try to find that full range of motion. Keep your spine nice and straight, not letting your torso round. Lifting on the exhale, releasing on the inhale. Again, do that to failure. When you're ready, come back, relax, stretch it out. And that's it for posterior muscle chain strengthening. If you enjoyed that video, hit the like button, leave a comment below. You can find me on Instagram at the Kaizen Projekt. That's the Kaizen Projekt. Project is spelled with a K. We're filming today at 318 Attic, which is Lululemon Queen Street location. You can find them at 318queen.com. Check them out, find their classes. You can maybe find me on there as well. And I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Keep practicing. Until next time, it's the Kaizen Man signing out.